Artificial intelligence. It is the buzzword of our times. Silicon Valley giants race to release ever bigger language models. Chinese companies pour billions into compute farms. Europe experiments with open weight models. And India? For years, India wasn't even considered a player in this race. Commentators dismissed us as a country with raw talent but no real AI ecosystem. The joke was India could provide for the coders, but the future would be decided elsewhere. But that narrative is starting to change. With the launch of the India AI mission, rapid investment in data centers, startups building indigenous large language models, and IIT labs pushing out open source innovations, India is finding its footing. The question we will explore today is, can India really catch up or even leapfrog ahead by doing things differently? Stay with us because we will cover the global AI race, India's unique approach, big corporates and scrappy startups, the risks ahead, and why India's diversity could actually become its biggest advantage. India in the global race. To understand India's position, let's start with the big picture. In the United States, companies like OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google are training models with hundreds of thousands of GPUs. Some estimates suggest that OpenAI alone controls more computing power than entire continents combined. China has Baidu, Alibaba, and Hawaii, all backed by a government that sees AI as national security. Its domestic market of a billion internet users provides endless data to train on. Europe, though smaller, is carving a niche. Models like Mistral are open sourced, giving Europe a voice in AI's governance debates. And India? Until 2022, India didn't even have a coordinated AI plan. Our IT services firms like Infosys, TCS, and Wipro used AI tools, but mostly those developed abroad. The global perception was clear. India was a back office, not a laboratory. An anecdote from a 2019 Stanford AI conference makes this obvious. When global leaders were asked which countries would dominate AI in the 2030s, the answers were US, China, maybe the EU. India wasn't even mentioned. That stung, but perhaps it also lit a fire. Because in 2024, India finally launched the India AI mission, signaling that we would no longer remain spectators. The India AI mission. The India AI mission is India's attempt to build a foundation for the next decade. With a budget of rupees 10,372 crore, the mission aims to catalyze $50 billion in ecosystem investments. It rests on seven pillars. Number one, compute capacity. A national grid of 10,000 plus GPUs available to startups, universities, and researchers. Number two, dataset platform. Sovereign Indian datasets covering healthcare, agriculture, governance, and more. Number three, innovation centers. New hubs in IITs and IISc. Number four, application development. Applying AI to population scale problems, crop yields, healthcare diagnostics, education access. Number five, future skills. Training 1 to 2 million learners this decade. Number six, startup financing. Capital for Indian deep tech firms. Number seven, safe and trusted AI. Guidelines for responsible AI. The vision is bold, but what makes it distinct is its focus on population scale AI. Instead of trying to outcompete OpenAI's trillion parameter models, India wants to make AI cheap, multilingual, and useful for ordinary citizens. Think about how India approached payments. While the West debated NFC versus credit card adoption, India built UPI, which leapfrogged straight into smartphone payments for a billion people. AI could follow the same story. Infrastructure, data centers, and compute. AI runs on compute, and compute runs on data centers. India's data center industry has exploded. In 2013, total capacity was less than 100 MW. Today, it's already past 1 GW and expected to hit 2 GW by 2026. Private players are moving fast. Yota's Shakti Cloud announced a cluster with 16,000 NVIDIA H100 GPUs, one of the largest outside US and China. Reliance Jio is working with NVIDIA to set up data centers with 2000 MW capacity. Adani Connex is building hyperscale facilities with liquid cooling and high density racks. An anecdote illustrates the speed of change. In 2021, an Indian AI startup founder told investors, "We spent 30% of our funds just renting GPUs from Singapore." By 2025, that same founder could book GPU clusters in Navi Mumbai or Chennai at half the cost thanks to domestic infra. So while India doesn't yet match Silicon Valley's supercomputers, for our needs, smaller models, fine tuning, multilingual training, this infrastructure is good enough and getting better fast. Scaling the workforce. India already has the second largest pool of AI/ML talent in the world, behind only the US. But there is a catch. Much of this talent works in IT services or generic data science, not in cutting edge AI research. The Future Skills program under the India AI Mission is trying to change that. With a rupees 2000 crore outlay, it plans to establish AI labs in tier 2 and tier 3 colleges, train millions of students in AI engineering, integrate AI into mainstream engineering curricula. Meanwhile, NASSCOM's Future Skills Prime has already trained 1.5 million learners. And the National Program on Responsible AI, in partnership with NVIDIA, is teaching students about bias, safety, and ethics. Here's the story. In 2023, a group of engineering students from Nagpur won an international hackathon with an AI model for crop disease detection, trained entirely on borrowed GPUs from a European cloud. When interviewed, they said, "We had the idea, but not the infra." By 2027, if India's compute grid delivers, students like them won't have to leave the country to experiment. Academic and research hubs. The real test of a nation's AI ecosystem is whether it produces original research. At IIT Madras, the AI for Bharat initiative has already launched Eravat and Jagannath, a multilingual model. Its Sarai Center is working on responsible AI. IISc Bangalore continues to publish world class papers in ML theory. IIIT Hyderabad has become a leader in speech and vision models. Nonprofits like Vadvani AI apply AI to public health for TB screening and maternal care. A powerful anecdote: Vadvani AI's tuberculosis screening model was once tested in rural clinics in Maharashtra. Within weeks, health workers could scan chest x rays with a smartphone and get an instant probability score of TB, something that earlier required sending films to a city lab. That pilot alone convinced WHO officials that AI could play a role in eradicating TB. These are the kinds of India first research stories that matter more than benchmark scores. Corporate giants step in. India's large corporates are no longer on the sidelines. Reliance Jio isn't just building data centers, it is backing the Hanuman consortium of Indic LLMs. TCS has launched TCS AI for Business, embedding generative AI into modernization projects. Infosys Topaz offers 150 plus pre trained models and 12,000 enterprise use cases. Tech Mahindra's Project Indus is training a Hindi centric LLM across 37 dialects. The Adani Group is betting billions on AI dense infra. The story of Infosys is instructive. In 2010, it was criticized for being slow to adopt digital services. By 2023, it has rebranded itself around AI first transformation, and today, nearly half of its large deals involve some AI component. Startups and funding. Alongside the giants, startups are buzzing. Sarvam AI built OpenHearty, a Hindi English conversational model, and raised $100 million. Krutrim, founded by Ola's Bhavesh Agarwal, became a unicorn in less than a year. Qure.ai uses AI to read X rays in 70 plus countries. Sigtuple applies AI to blood pathology. Locus and FarEye optimize logistics routes for e commerce players. Investors are noticing. Tiger Global, Excel, and Sequoia have all written big checks. AI across sectors. India's AI journey is less about flashy poetry writing chatbots and more about practical use cases at population scale. Healthcare, Qure.ai, Niramay breast cancer detection, Sigtuple. AI is extending diagnostic capacity in a country with a shortage of radiologists. Agriculture, AI chatbots that give mandi price forecasts and pest alerts. Startups like Cropin already work with millions of farmers. Tech, ClearTax uses AI for GST filing. Credflow helps SMEs manage cash flow. Perfios aids underwriting and fraud detection. Logistics, Lucas and FireEye optimize deliveries across India's congested cities. Education, vernacular tutoring apps using AI, such as personalized assistance for rural students. Governance, pilot projects in Telangana and Karnataka use AI co pilots to speed up welfare scheme delivery. Beyond LLMs, the next wave. Globally, the future of AI is moving from big LLMs to agentic AI, systems that can plan, reason, and act. For India, this is a blessing. We do not need trillion parameter models. What we need are efficient agents trained on Indian data. Imagine this: a farmer in Bihar asks an AI assistant, "What should I plant next season?" The AI agent checks weather forecasts, soil data, mandi prices, and subsidy schemes. Then it creates a personalized cropping plan all in Bhojpuri. This is not sci fi. Pilot projects with smaller agentic AI models are already underway in agriculture and healthcare. Challenges and risks. Still, challenges loom. India's compute power, while growing, is still tiny compared to the US and China. Brain drain is real. The best AI researchers from IITs are still lured by labs in California and Beijing. Data governance is a delicate balance. The DPDPA 2023 aims to protect privacy, but overly strict rules could stifle startups. Globally, mistakes to avoid include focusing only on model size, not relevance, using Western benchmarks that ignore Indian realities, over-regulations on one side, or Wild West chaos on the other. So, where does this all lead? By 2030, India could create 2 to 3 globally competitive AI model families, become the world's hub for applied AI services, put AI assistants in the hands of the next 500 million Indians on cheap smartphones, add $500 billion to GDP by embedding AI in governance, agriculture, education, and health. Think of how UPI transformed payments, or how Aadhaar gave a billion people digital identity. AI could be India's next population scale innovation. India was late to the AI race, but being late does not always mean losing. Sometimes the latecomers learns from others' mistakes and builds something uniquely their own. So, what do you think? Can India leapfrog ahead with its own AI path, or will we remain just an applied hub? Comment below, like the video, and subscribe to India Business Insights for more deep dives into business, technology, and the Indian economy.